Welcome to the Currently Cringing podcast. I'm your host, Anisha Ramakrishna. I'm a TV personality and entrepreneur. Join me as I spill the chai on my cringeworthy life experiences with a side of dating, pop culture, and lots of laughs. Hey guys, welcome to Currently Cringing. I just can't catch a break. I got back from Turkey and I was very ill, like deathly ill. Got married, came back, went to BravoCon, which was amazing, came back and got sick all over again. I don't know what it is. I am not okay. My show at Caroline's is next Thursday in New York City, November 3rd at 7 p.m. If you're around, catch me, and I will be having Brian Benny, my friend and castmate from Family Karma, hosting. But yeah, your girl's out of commission, shaking in a corner for the show, feeling unprepared, but also terribly sick. I have been in bed for 10 days. Even, my traditional Indian mother, she's like, dude, you just got married. Like, what are you doing? Like, you need to wake up and be a wife. And people are like, how's your honeymoon? And I've literally been in bed sick. I don't know what I have. I'm on antibiotics, but I think it's just all the plane travel, flying to BravoCon, waking up every day at 4 a.m. for hair and makeup, going to bed at like 1 a.m. and not from partying, but from working, and then coming back to Phoenix and all the red eyes, and my body just can't take it. And it's been like this for about 2 years now. And maybe my body is just telling me, stop, just stop it. And so after Caroline's, the comedy show, I plan to take a break for at least a month, and yes, we have tons of fun guests lined up and a lot of things happening with the podcast, but maybe not committing to any gigs. And maybe I just need to sit my ass at home for a month. But your girl's out of commission. I'm not okay. Pray for me. Pray that I do well at this comedy show and pray that I get better before, I hope I'm recovered by at least Sunday, so I can prepare. But I'm going to give you a short little fun story for today. So not only did we celebrate our first Diwali together, we also had our first fight as a married couple. And just to give you an idea, our first Diwali was me lying in bed sick, and I literally made us ramen. I had all these grandiose plans to cook us Navratna Korma, which is this yummy Indian dish with cashew sauce, and make this Indian dessert like a rice pudding called kheer, and none of that happened. I was in bed and I made us ramen, and I did light up the house with candles and diyas, the Indian lamps, but that was pretty much it. But we did go to Costco. I did have energy to go to Costco, and I ended up buying 2 pies. So I had never had Costco pie. I do love everything Costco. And we were in line paying, and all of a sudden the person behind me shows up with 2 pies in their cart, and I see that it's this gigantic pumpkin pie for $5.99. And I was like, okay, I need to get me one of those, because the week before we went to Safeway, which is the local grocery store here in Scottsdale, and I paid $8.99 for a pumpkin pie. And in Publix in Miami, I buy pumpkin pies for $11.99. So the fact that Costco had this gargantuan pumpkin pie for $5.99, I was sold. And I do love me some pumpkin pie and apple pie and sweet potato pie. And it's kind of like my treat yourself, during the holidays. It's what I do. I love to eat those things. I love holiday foods. So I see the woman in line behind us with these 2 pies. Of course, my husband's done paying by the time I notice these pies. And I'm like, babe, I'm going back in. And, he's eye rolling to hell. And so I go back, I get these 2 gargantuan pies, not looking at the price of the apple pie, because I figured, hey, the pumpkin pie's $5.99. Well, got home and realized the apple pie was $15.99. I guess apples are surging right now. But I crammed these two pies in the fridge, and that's, when the fight broke out. And, we're OCD. We have like those Kardashian fridges, like our fridge, our cabinets, like everything is lined, to the T's. We are OCD. We are those people. Color coordinated, the whole 9 yards. So the fridge looks like a shit show now, because I've crammed these two gargantuan pies, and each pie is probably enough for 20 people. We are a household of 2. And so I've shoved these 2 pies in the fridge, and my husband's like, did you really need to buy these 2 huge pies? And I was like, yes, I did. And he's like, well, now the fridge is a mess. And I was like, and? Like, what is your point? Like, I will rearrange it. And, he's just complaining. And mind you, this is us fighting. Like, we are both speaking in monotone and eye rolling to hell at each other as I sit on my couch, face tuning my Diwali video because I'm sick as a dog and, have to post for Diwali though. So I'm face tuning from the couch, and I really just stared at him and I was like, are you really going to fight about a fucking pie? Like, is this going to be our first fight, babe? Like, we're fighting about pumpkin pies and the size of the pie and that it won't fit in the fridge? Because he was also frustrated that I said that I would cut the pie and freeze it if required if it didn't fit. But then, of course, your girl was out of commission. I was like, no, I'm sorry. I'm going to do that at another time because I'm going to go to the couch right now and Facetune my Diwali photo. Like, we have more important things to do right now. He was also secretly mad, as I discussed with my sister, that I bought the pie because he's trying to watch what he eats. And obviously he wanted to eat the pie and he was mad that it was there. Because it was temptation. And mind you, he's eaten a gigantic slice every day since we got the pie of both. We've both been eating a huge slice of each pumpkin and apple pie every day. So I was like, is this going to be our first fight, babe? You're fighting with me about pumpkin pies from Costco. Really? And then we just giggled, but I could tell he was really irritated. And so that was our first fight as a married couple. And so that's what I have to share with you. There's so much more I would love to tell you that I'm going to save for next week because my throat is just killing me. I don't know why this is happening to me. It's I got a 2 in a row, I was sick after turkey and now I'm sick again and it's awful. And I'm just going to stay in bed and recover. And I love you guys. But next week, I'm going to give you guys a deep podcast. It's going to be a solo pod and it's going to be deep. Love you guys. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much for sipping the chai with me this week. If you like the show, remember to rate, review, and subscribe. You can also find me on Instagram at Anisha Ramakrishna. I would love to hear from you. Join me next week for more chai.